Hi friends, welcome to Srisai IT Hub. In this video of Core Java Programming, today we are going to discuss the following topic: labeled continue in Java program. So let us start with what is labeled continue, where we have to use labeled continue, and we'll do a small program related to this labeled continue. So coming to labeled continue, it is a continue statement which is mainly used in nested loops, so it can be used in regular loops also. In regular loops we can use continue statement. Okay, in regular loops we can directly use continue statement. So the main use of labeled continue comes when we have nested loops, loop within loop, loop within loop. Okay, right? And here also it is used with outer loop only. Okay, so this labeled continue is mainly used with outer loop, outer loop itself. Okay, so it is mainly used with outer loop itself. We can also use with inner loop, but for inner loop we don't require this. Okay, right? So next, coming to continue, what continue will do? So continue statement when used in loops, it will skip remaining statements of current iteration and continues with next iteration of the loop. So it will skip the remaining statements of the current iteration and continues with next iteration of the loop. So that is what is continue statement, and continue statement is only used in loops. Okay, so it is used only in loops, whereas break statement is used in switch case control structure as well as loop, but continue statement is used only in loops. So let us try to understand labeled continue with the syntax. It goes like this. So let us say that you have outer loop, okay, and then inner loop. Okay, right? So let us say this outer loop, okay, we'll give some label here, label name, followed by colon is compulsory, and then inside the inner loop, okay, we are going to use something like continue label name. So when we say continue label name, okay, it will skip all the remaining statements of the current iteration and also remaining iterations of the inner loop, and then continues with outer loop next iteration. Okay, right? So what continue label will do? Okay, so continue label name, it will skip remaining statements of current iteration and also skips remaining iterations of inner loop and directly continues with next iteration of outer loop. So this is the essence behind continue label name. It will skip remaining statements of current iteration and also skips remaining iterations of inner loop and directly continues with next iteration of outer loop. Okay, right? So what happens if you simply say here continue? Okay, so when you say continue, it skips remaining statements of current iteration. Okay, of current iteration and continues with next iteration of inner loop. So that is what is all about continue. If you use continue, it will continue with next iteration of the inner loop. But when we say continue label name, it will continue with next iteration of outer loop by skipping current iteration, inner loop statements and remaining statements of inner loop. Okay, right. So let us try to implement this in the form of a program. So let us take a program labeled continue example1 .java. So program to demo labeled continue in nested loops. So basically labeled break and labeled continue are mainly used in nested loops. Its importance is given in nested loops only. So let us take a new page. So first we'll write the comments here. To / write the comments, take the main class. Labeled continue example 1. So here we'll write the main method public static void main string of args. Right. So let us save this in our working directory. So labeled continue example1 .java. Right. So let us demonstrate this labeled continue example in nested loops. So for nested loops, you will have outer loop and inner loop. So we'll take outer loop and inner loop variables as I, j respectively. Next we'll print one message here, system.out.println. So labeled continue in nested loops. So we'll start a loop for I is equals to 1, I less than or equals to 3, I plus plus. So here outer loop executes 3 times. Similarly, we'll also take the inner loop for j is equals to 1, j less than or equals to 3, j plus plus. So here inner loop also executes 3 times. Right, and then we'll print here system.out.println I plus j value. Okay, but before that we'll say here if I is equals to 2 and j is equals to 2, we'll say continue label 1. Okay, right, so we'll take this as label 2. So this label 2 is a label for outer loop, identification for outer loop. Okay, so label 2 is outer loop identification. So it will continue with label 2 when I is equals to 2 and j is equals to 2. And then it will continue with next iteration I plus plus I will become 3. So 3 less than 3. It will print 3 1, 3 2, 3 3 in the next line. So here we'll print system.out.print I, j plus tab space and after finishing the inner loop we'll take one new line character, right? And after coming out of the outer loop we'll print system dot out dot println end of the program, right? So let us try to compile and run this and check whether it is continuing with next iteration of outer loop when I is equals to 2 and j is equals to 2. So compile, go to open the command prompt, go to your working directory, compile the program labeled continue example 1, compile this, no error, and run it, right? So if you see here 1 1 1 2 1 3, and after that 2 1, after 2 1, okay, 2 2. So when it is 2 2, continue with I outer loop. So outer loop is I, it will start with 3. So 3 1 3 2 3 3. So what we'll do here is, just before saying continue, we'll also say here system dot out dot println will take a new line, so that 3 1 3 2 3 3 comes in the next line. Okay, right? So recompile this and run it. So 1 1 1 2 1 3 2 1 2 2. So when it is 2 2, continue. So it will skip the remaining iterations of the current inner loop, and it will also skip the remaining statements and directly continues with the outer loop 3 3 1 3 2 3 3, and finally end of the program. So this is how we are supposed to work with labeled continue in Java program. Thank you for watching this video. Do like and share this video, and also subscribe to the YouTube channel Sri Sai IT Hub. Have a nice day.